Hi, Wendy. Thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed by me. How are you today?
I'm really, really good. Thank you.
Excellent. So, I've been trying to set interviews with successful business owners, successful in their own right, so I
Yeah,
can get some tips and secrets on how they manage their life, their business. So I simply can inspire others, so they
yeah,
can get some strategies to maybe change certain things in their lives so they can look after themselves better, their relationship better, and maybe to become successful as well.
fantastic. Thank you. I'm glad to be included.
Yeah, that's great. So, how long have you been a candle consultant with Party Light?
Just over 12 years.
Right. So it's been a
Yeah,
while.
it's been a while. I've been buying the products. I calculated it just yesterday at a candle party.
Yeah,
At 21 years, I've been buying Party Light products.
21 years. Wow.
So 1996, I went to my first candle party, and I guess I must have been a customer for about 9 years before I decided to become a consultant. So,
Right. So you've been their groupie for some time.
correct.
And so why do you do your business? What's your big why?
Well, my real big why now, after 12 years of being in the business,
Yeah.
is that it is my own business. I can run it any way I want to.
Yeah.
I can grow it as large as I desire.
Yeah.
Um, but the most important thing to me, and this is after working in a corporate environment for about 12 years
Hmm.
after I went to university, and the real benefit for me is I don't have a boss
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have employees.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those things were things I thought that I was going to appreciate and enjoy doing when I was in a corporate environment before I got to it. It was a desire of mine to be part of that corporate engine.
Yeah.
And once I experienced that corporate engine, having a boss always meant competing with my peers to promote
Yeah.
into their role. And I needed to know my succession plan, right? And having employees meant that I had scarce resources to give to them. I couldn't always give them the promotions or raises that I wanted to give them, and I didn't always have the ability to support them.
Mm.
But not only that, I was responsible for their success and their activities, and I didn't really appreciate that either. So this new environment of mine, the direct sales,
Mm.
no boss, just
Yeah.
upline to support me, and no employees, just downline to be supported.
Yeah.
It really suits my personality, I think, a lot better.
Wonderful. That's great. It's
Yeah,
great to know who you really are and what suits you.
yeah, yes, it is.
Excellent. So, what was the biggest lesson in business that you have learned so far?
That they're all the same. That all businesses are the same. They all have good days, they all
Yeah.
have bad days, and they all take persistence.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what you do, whether it's a retail job, whether you run a service industry job, whether you are an employee or the owner of the business,
Yeah.
no matter what, persistence
Yeah.
is what makes a successful environment. And I think that was a big lesson for me because going from a corporate environment, as I said,
Yeah.
into a party plan or a direct sales environment,
Yeah.
um, a lot of people in the world, including myself, have the audacity to think that what I do is not a job.
Yeah.
And what I learned over time was if I treated it like it wasn't a job,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And when I treated it like it was, it worked for me.
Yeah.
And that's what sort of was a great lesson for me to learn. Yeah.
Excellent. So obviously there's commitment and obviously persistent, as you said.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
There's days when you don't want to go to work in every job.
Of course.
This one happens to be one that more often than not, that's not the case.
Nice, nice. So you are the leader in this company, one of the leaders, and I heard that you are at the top in sponsoring consultants to be in your team. Now, what is your secret in being a people's magnet?
People magnet. I think. Thank you for the accolade. I don't know that I totally deserve it, but I know I do sponsor a lot of people, so I really enjoy sponsoring people. I think that's probably the best advice I could give is to enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I actually believe that when you are bringing people into an organization, whether it's a role in an office or something like Party Light, that it's truly a matter of knowing why they want to be part of it and helping them achieve their goals. Yeah. That, I think, is the secret to sponsoring, is listening to people about what their concerns are, what their goals are, and being able to align what I have to offer to what they're looking for. And that's probably the secret to my success, is taking no for an answer when it's not the right time, but persisting in presenting the opportunity to them so that when it is the right time, I come to mind. And I have a lot of clients who I've asked for years and years to consider becoming a consultant. And when it's the right time, they still think of me. And I think that's really it. It's listening to people and responding to what they want rather than here's what I have to offer.
So again, going back to the persistence aspect of the business is no doesn't mean that it's no, not ever, right? So it may be no, not now, but if you are on their radar, then whenever when it's the right time for them, then they can contact you.
That's exactly right. And also, I've learned through a lot of my different trainings that I do that sometimes it's not just about them. They might know someone who could really benefit by being a part of my team. And if I'm able to present to them in a way that makes them think of someone, then they're able to introduce me to someone with a really good story, and I'm able to explain to them how I might be able to satisfy that. So networking is an important element of network marketing, obviously. And so it's not always who you know, but it's who they know as well.
Yes. I remember you mentioned to me one day, sell to their tentacles.
Yes.
I remember that clearly. Sell to their tentacles. Oh.
That's right. Everybody has, I call it the LinkedIn bubble, because LinkedIn is such an important software that people use in the business world. And everybody walks into the room with at least 150 people in their network who might be able to be served by something I have, whether it's my candle business, whether it's my candles, whether it's my music, whether it's just my friendship. Yeah. Somebody knows somebody who is going to be affected by me. So reach out.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So how many consultants do you have in your team, and how do you inspire them?
All right. Well, how many do I have? I did look this up when you asked me that, and I like to answer this with active consultants. So for those of you and the audience who might be wondering, I mean, I've been doing this for 12 years, and people in this industry come and go. And that's part of the secret to being a good leader, is being able to let that ebb and flow occur without taking it personally. Yeah. So I have about almost 200 people on my specific team, on my personal team. And then in my team, I've developed leaders in their own right, and they have their own teams. So there's quite a significant downline in my business. How do I inspire them? Well, we use a lot of different tools to inspire people, and one of the best ones that we've found over the years has been Facebook, to be honest. Facebook is such a good vehicle to get information out into people without cluttering their inbox, letting them do it on their own time, letting them scroll through something. And if your story is attractive, they will stop and watch the video or read the post. or see the events that's coming up. So Facebook is a really a good conduit to that.
Okay.
So that's the tool. But how do I inspire them? Well, I think by being honest all the time, not being fake in any way, shape, or form about the ups and downs of the business, by sharing good information and training when I can. I totally believe in an everlasting learning environment. I think I am always learning, and my team should always be learning as well. I reward people every month at our team meetings if they have done any sort of training to make themselves a better person. It doesn't even need to be training about my business, but something that has made them feel better about themselves is always valued to me. And I think it's inspiring for people to do outside and extracurricular sort of training.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing I do is recognition. I love recognition. I think that my industry in particular, direct selling, is very good at recognition. I in particular try and take that to another level. I love receiving cards. People, I find that it's a lost art. I enjoy receiving cards, and I love giving them to people. I love sending them. I do it through tools that I can do it online, but I also do it by hand. I really think that that's a good way of communicating with people, especially when you can't see them in person.
Yeah, it's really nice to receive a card from someone. Yeah.
So I guess that's it. Through regular touch, regular communication, and recognition of their accomplishments and of their efforts. And I suppose the last tool I use is the phone. I love the phone. I love calling people on my team just to find out how they're doing and to ask how I can help them. And let them then talk about where they are and what they're doing. And I believe that whenever I leave one of those calls, they have a smile on their face. It may or may not be the right time for them to act on the things we discuss, but for sure, they've enjoyed the call.
Really nice. So communication for you is key by the sound of it. Yeah. Whether it's verbal or in writing or live.
Correct.
Facebook. Yeah.
Communication's key. Recognition, communication, inspiration, and ongoing learning. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Now, what was the funniest story that happened during one of your candle parties? Do you mind sharing?
I have had so many candle parties. I think I'm going to go to something that just might resonate well with somebody who might be watching this.
Yes.
And every party that I do, I ask people when the last time they burned a candle was. At least if it's a reasonable sized party. If it's too big, I can't ask each person that question. But I do love to ask that question. When's the last time you burned a candle?
Yeah.
I'd like to pause right now and have you contemplate whether or not you've lit a candle in a while. But seriously, the best answer is during a blackout. My favorite answer is when they say the last time I lit a candle was during a blackout, and that they don't light candles otherwise. And I guess the reason that's funny is everybody who is at the party will giggle, thinking that will throw me and be a bad thing. But the fact of the matter is that means they have candles in their house.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. And I always try and make people feel comfortable with their answer, no matter what it is.
Yes.
And so laughter and joy has to be a response from everybody at the party in order for me to feel like it's a success. So I don't know that I have a funny story about one thing in particular, but that answer resonates well with everybody in the room. Yeah. And my response to that just makes them giggle. That at least that means they've already got candles in their house. So, yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Now, you are also a musician, an active member of a networking group, a wife, a mother of 2 fur babies.
Correct.
What a busy life.
Those are a lot easier than real babies.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. So, You obviously have a busy life. How do you manage your time?
Diary. I'm committed to my diary. I'm committed to it in two places. I like a physical diary,
Yep.
one with pages to it that I can write in, and most importantly, that I can show other people. I use that as a tool to book parties and to book appointments.
Yep.
And I think it's really important for me to have something I can physically show to people when I'm working with them. Everything that goes into that physical diary is then put into my Outlook calendar. And I am diary driven. Every morning I get up, the very first thing I do is look at that diary and think about what I've got planned that whole week. I kind of look out the whole week, and I like to prepare for every meeting, and I like to have post processing time. Because when I do a meeting, whether it's for my candle business or my networking team or assisting someone in their business, I feel like I do a lot of business coaching as well. I have to figure out how to make money out of that. People come to my house and ask for my assistance on things.
Right.
And I gladly give that information out. But there's always something to do afterwards.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of people don't book that time into their planner, and they get stuck. So I like to plan preparation time, do the meeting, and then follow up after the meeting. So that really helps me, and that's true for everything. The other thing is a lot of planning. I make sure that my diary has the events in it in advance. So I actually plan about a year in advance what I'm doing.
Wow. Yeah.
I plan my vacations. Sorry, I'm American a little bit, so I say vacation. But my holidays, I plan them 2 to 3 years in advance. I sort of know where I'm going. Alan and I plan our holidays in advance because we love to look forward to the travel that we're going to do. So, that's how I keep my busy schedule.
Amazing.
I also believe that busy people make great candle ladies. So I always look for busy people, and when they're busy, I say, great, you'll fit in perfectly.
I never thought of that. Now, how do you look after yourself and also your relationship with your husband?
All right. I'll start with me.
Yeah.
I get my hair done by a hairdresser who comes to my house, and he gives me a fabulous head massage every 8 weeks. I have a facial that I do religiously once a month with the most amazing therapist who does just the most relaxing facial. And I have also added a massage into that, and I'm getting a massage done regularly. I learned about 10 years ago through the death of one of my friends that life is short.
Right.
And she was so young when she passed. She was 40 years of age, and it really impacted me, and it made me make a lot of changes in my life. I believe the reason I'm a business owner in this sort of a business is because of her. And I also believe that I started doing yoga and meditation and mindset training and massage and taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Specifically, I can relate it all back to her death.
Right.
And her life, because she lived life very well and she believed in taking care of yourself. So
awesome.
I really believe that is taking care of yourself is important.
Yeah.
And all of those things do cost money, but there's ways to do things for yourself. Even just breathing right is a way to take care of yourself. So if you don't have enough money to do a facial or a massage, then learn how to give yourself a massage, but take the time out to do it with some nice music on and some pretty candles burning and just a breath. So that's how I take care of me.
Yeah. And with your intimate relationship with Alan?
Alan and I have been married for 28 years, and we've been together for 30. And
What a milestone! Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. We are uh, we keep our relationship fresh by I like to say by not having kids.
Yeah.
Whatever we want, whenever we want to. But our family is really important to us. We go out and do things together. We hold hands.
Yeah.
We do massage and scratch each other's backs all the time and enjoy that. I mentioned that travel was important to us.
Yeah.
I remember when Alan and I were going through a really tough time. I had another business that I was running alongside of my party light business.
Yeah.
And that business was eating me alive. It was really hard work. It needed a lot more money to be successful. And I had been working on, I'd been working without a paycheck for about 3 years. And it was towards the end of those 3 years that the stress was really, really high.
Yep.
I had a chat with Alan and I said, what would you change if you could change anything about our life right now? And he said, travel.
Yeah.
He said, I miss travel.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that so clearly. And that's, I think, why our planning for the 3 years in a row of sort of what are we going to do is so important to me. It's my gift to him to have a business that's strong enough and have an opportunity to do those things together. We look forward to them, and he loves to plan them, and I love to schedule them. So I make sure that they're in the diary, and then he goes and does all the bookings. He's the best travel agent I have ever used.
That's great. So put his needs first, kind of, because travel obviously is very high in his hierarchy of values, but also it gives you beautiful relationship and you enjoy it. Must be. Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah, win-win for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. Now, my last question is, what is your advice for others to look after themselves better? This question is very important to me because of what I do, obviously. I would like to inspire others to look after themselves better and their intimate relationship better.
Absolutely. All right. What's my advice? My advice is, and this is advice for the whole world, learn to breathe deep.
Okay.
Learn to take time out and schedule time for yourself first. Put the time for yourself and acknowledge that as very important. I really believe that we schedule ourselves last. We pay ourselves last. We should pay ourselves first. We schedule time for ourselves when we can fit it in rather than scheduling the time for ourselves and then booking things around it. So I believe that we should prioritize going to a spa therapist like yourself and taking that time, turning off your phone, going for a walk without your phone.
Yeah.
Learning how to use I turn on the airplane mode all the time. Untethering yourself from technology on a regular basis. And having a hobby is always very good as well. My music is something that is for me.
Yeah.
It's not for Alan. It's not for the dogs. It's not for my business. It's something that I truly get joy out of. And I have invested time in that. I make an appointment with my guitar teacher to get lessons so that I'm taking a break from everything else and doing something about me.
Yeah.
So make an appointment with someone who can make you feel comfortable and spoil yourself every now and then.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your beautiful and very wise advice and tips as well. All the best for your future. And may we hear more of your music and seeing more of your candles.
It's a delight. Thank you very much for inviting me to be interviewed. It's great.
Thank you, Wendy. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.